So 1 year ago, we launched a new service for a partner, the Project Leader Onboarding, called also PLO. So I will say a lot PLO today. So did anyone in this room already follow the PLO? Maybe? Okay, one. So my talk will be useful. I hope so, at least. Okay, so I'm Matthew Tens. I'm working at Odoo as a business analyst, and also I'm part of the partner services team, and I will be your host today. So what's on the agenda today? We will first start with an introduction to see why did we create this onboarding and where does it come from, before going deeper into its content, its target, and its future. So to really understand this training, this onboarding, it's quite important to know where does it come from. And the answer, honestly, is quite obvious. It's like partner were asking for it in many different ways, sometimes like, how do we get on board? How do we start the Odoo journey? How do we do an implementation with Odoo? And actually, at the moment, aside from the video made by Amy Caroline and also our expert team, which are a really good first introduction to the functional knowledge of Odoo, some part of project management, methodology, and also just best practices were missing. This onboarding is exactly the same as the one we use to train our business analysts at Odoo. So it's really the same as the one we use internally. We decided to share it with your partner because we believe that this methodology can help to implement simply a maximum of Odoo projects. But for who is this onboarding? Of course, you are a new partner. You want to see how we are working at Odoo and how we are implementing our project. You are a target for this PLO, but not just new partners, also existing partners. You want to grow, you want to make a lot of implementation, have a lot of projects. To do that, you will have to expand, and you will have to train new recruits. Then this PLO can also be for you, to just outsource this phase of onboarding to Odoo. Our mission here is quite simple. We try to share our growth and experience with you, our partner, and it is really our main goal. At the end, we all have the same objective, is to have a lot of projects, to do small and big implementation as quick as possible, and to develop our company. But let's dive deeper into the content of this PLO. So PLO for Project Leader Onboarding. It's a functional training in 7 weeks in order to, wait for it, train your project leader, obviously, in the Odoo way. So the onboarding is split in 2 parts. The first part is 2 weeks about the video on the e-learning platform that you can have access right now, with some Q&A session with an Odoo consultant. So Q&A session on the basic flows of Odoo to be sure that you really understand the way of working of Odoo. And then the 5 other weeks are based on more methodologic session, technical-functional session, best practices, use cases, and so on. I will go through that just after. So basically, it's a training with an Odoo business analyst representing 35 hours of session with this onboarder. That means that you will have to do some more work between the session. So the 35 hours are just with the onboarder, but you will have to prepare those sessions before. So basically, as you may know, we have a lot of applications in Odoo Standard and also in our community, thanks to our partners. And we had to make a choice. So we will see those applications during this onboarding, especially the first 2 weeks. And we had to make a choice because we cannot see everything in 7 weeks. So that choice was made in order to think which are the core applications for our newcomers, really in order to understand the flows of Odoo. how can we implement those applications? So that will be the next phase of the onboarding, is to see our methodology. How do we do it? Where steps do we follow to do that? And we live by one methodology called the Odoo implementation methodology. So thanks to those sessions, we will see how to do an ROI analysis. So why we do it, how we do it, when we do it. We will also see how to challenge our customer. As you may know, at Odoo, we really like the word challenge. I think during one onboarding, I can tell it maybe 200 times, so be prepared to this word. But it's quite important. We all face some situation where our customer has some weird request or unnecessary request, and as a project leader, it is my job to make them realize that, so we can implement faster and we can save money for our customers. So the objective here is to really split the must-have features and the nice-to-have features that can be implemented later. We will also see how to do documentation on your project, how to phase a project, how to budget a project, and also how to plan, and also how to communicate with the customer. We are all different, your customers are all different. The communication in a project is really important. We have some tools to help you to do that, like a progress report. After each phase of a project, we will do a project report like a project status to be sure that, okay, we did that, we implement the first phase. Here are the strengths of our collaboration, but there is also some areas for improvement. And we will talk about it so we are sure that the next phase will be even easier. We will also see how to organize a go-live, how to make sure that it will happen, because not every project will be in the go-live phase, and that's our job to do that. And we will also many more other sessions, but I will not spoil everything. So after this methodologic part, we will also see more technical functional tasks, like how to do some data imports. So it seems easy, and we will have an easy session like how to import contacts, product, and companies. And according to my experience, it's always helpful to have contacts in a database. So you will see how we are doing it and how you can do it, but we will also see how to do more advanced import, like how to import a chart of account in accounting, how to import an enabling balance and begin the accounting in Odoo, how to import an inventory adjustment as well. Then we will have also 2 sessions on Studio. So if you know Studio and you ever did black magic with Studio, you know that the gap between the customization and the development is quite large. It's really a gray area, and we have some tips and tricks to really situate yourself in this gray area. What should you do with Studio? What should you do with the development? We will also see how to write a specification. So at Odoo, we try to stay as much as possible in standard, but sometimes we don't have the choice and we have to do a development. So we will see together how we communicate this development, how we will see the business need, how we will see the functional needs of the dev, and to be sure that it's correctly shared with the customer and the developer. We will also have some more advanced use cases, like one on point of sales, one of manufacturing, and so on. So, according to me at least, the objectives, or may I say the objective of the PLO is quite clear. PLO for Project Leader Onboarding, of course, is to train your project leader the Odoo way. But what's the Odoo way? It's really to be able to implement a project as quickly as possible and as simple as possible. If you can do it simply, it will be always good for your end user and easily implemented. But how can this onboarding take place? Honestly, you decide. You can follow this onboarding remotely, so online, like we already did with many partners, or you are more than welcome to come at our offices at Louvain-la-Neuve and follow this onboarding on-site. So you will see also the Odoo culture and be able to grab a beer after a day of work. So to sum up this offer, the PLO will include an access to our e-learning platform with up-to-date documentation, up-to-date videos, and some use cases, like I said. One good thing to know about this access to the e-learning is that this access is unlimited. So we will have a continuous improvement of our task, of our use cases, and add some topics. Even if you follow the PLO 1 year ago, you will still have access to this platform and be able to see the new topics that we added to the course. Other strengths about that is that you can follow the PLO by yourself, and then you want to grow, you want to recruit new people, new project leader, you will have this access to the e-learning platform to also train them by yourself without our help. We will also have daily session, like I said, with an Odoo consultant. So your onboarder will be a business analyst. And like I said, for 35 hours approximately. So let's say that it's 1 hour per day of session during 7 weeks. Of course, those 7 weeks can be flexible. Sometimes I did one time an onboarding with a partner that came at the office during 2 weeks, and we did that in 2 weeks at the office and 1 remotely. I also did an onboarding online like 3 months ago, and he had a lot of work, so we did not do it in 7 weeks, but in 11. So we can really be flexible and be regarding to your needs, of course. And you will also have one access to the latest certification. So right now it's still the V15, but soon it will be the V16. Okay, all that sounds lovely, beautiful, at least I hope it sounds lovely, but let's check some figure about it. So as I said at the beginning, we launched this service 1 year ago, so let's go back about some figures about it. So here are, according to me, 3 good key figures to really see the development of this service. And since the beginning, we already launched 250 trainings. So 250 partners already followed who are still in process in the onboarding. So it's quite huge in 1 year. Thanks to those trainings, to 250 trainings, we already have 2,000 attendees on the platform. So when I will publish a new content, 2,000 people will have access to this new content. And since the beginning of the year, we also add 8 new contents, some tasks like how to use Odoo spreadsheet, how to set up your multi-company environment, how to really understand lead time, and many more. At the end of each PLO, Project Leader Onboarding, I promise it's the last time I say that, we always send a survey to our partner because we truly believe that your input and your feedback are what we are expected for. And we want to adapt the content to your needs. And to the question, did it meet your expectation or just the onboarding satisfaction, we had some quite good notes. Of course, we can always do better, and it's our mindset anyway, it's our job. But if your children come home with grades like this, you will be rather happy. Okay, but I think the most important question remains. What's next? What are the next steps to even more share our knowledge and our experience with you, our partners? Like I said in the beginning, we will continuously improve the content of the PLO, of only this course. We will add some new topics. Internally, sometimes our methodology change because of the sector and our market, and we will also make those changes in the PLO. But thanks to your numerous feedback, to all the call we had with some partners, all the survey, and also just the emails that you sent to us, we kind of identified a new demand. get advanced training. The PLO is more an introduction and see how we launch project, how we handle small project, an even bigger project. But here it was more like get an advanced course about a specific topic. And it was more like, okay, I'm a partner, I just finished the PLO, but what's next? I have the key to launch a project, to handle a project, and hopefully to make a successful implementation. But I will need some more advanced knowledge, maybe in accounting, in inventory, or many more other apps. And that's why we are pleased to announce you the launch of the smart classes for partners. They will take shape in like courses, really more advanced courses, like an all-in-one guide for a specific topic in Odoo. So you will have a smart class in inventory. You will have a smart class in accounting, a smart class in production, a smart class in sales, marketing, and so on. And they have been directly realized by our expert team. And through those smart classes, they will really share the business knowledge, not only in Odoo, the tips and tricks of an implementation, some workaround. We know that sometimes we face situation a lot, and we don't have yet an answer in standard, but we have some workaround because the expert had this request a lot. They know how to handle it, and they will explain that in the smart classes. So I will end this presentation with a simple fact. Training is something mandatory. Either you are a new partner and you want to train yourself to implement Odoo, to be a project leader, or either you are an existing partner that want to expand and onboard new recruits. So it's something that you will have to do. So you can either decide it to develop it yourself and to have your own methodology, which is totally fine for us, or you can just trust us and try the project leader onboarding. If you have any question about this training regarding the price and so on, I will advise you to contact your account manager, which is really better than me to answer those questions. And if you are not a partner yet, I will invite you to go on our website, odoo.com. Thank you for your attention, and I will still be available if you have any question regarding this onboarding.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any question, please raise the hand. I'm coming back to you.
How much does it cost?
Honestly, that's why I just tell you to ask our account manager. It's representing a pack of 35 hours, but the price depends on your localization. So we have some account manager in the room, so we can ask them after the talk if you want.
Hello.
Hi.
PLO can be attended up to five people, right?
That's a really good question. Actually, we try to avoid more than 6 attendees per onboarding in order to keep some good interaction and a high quality of the onboarding.
Okay, and you have mentioned that one certification is included in the PLO. Is it included for every person who is attending it, or one in general?
You have just one access for all the attendees. So if you have 5 attendees, you will receive one access.
For each of them,
No.
or one in total?
Just one in total.
Okay, thank you.
The way of thinking behind that, I guess, is like if you want to become not just a learning partner, but a ready partner, you will just need one certification. Any other question?
I have a question myself.
Okay, tell me.
What would you say to someone who have watched the videos by himself and have read the implementation methodology book?
Honestly, it's the best start ever that you can do to implement Odoo, but our job as project leader is not the same every day. And if you don't have an insight of an input of someone that already has some experiences, already has some troubles in implementation, it will be quite hard to do it by yourself. So at Odoo, we follow more, yes, we have a methodology to follow, but we use more common sense. So if I know for that project it may not be a good idea to follow the methodology, I will do by my own and what I think and do and use my common sense. So the videos are good, the implementation book is really good, but it's always good to have the knowledge of a project leader from Odoo to share our experience. I think the most added value of this onboarding is the onboarder. And you can ask all your questions and has his experience on the field.
Okay,
so right here, I think.
Why replacing Amy's video?
Sorry?
Why replacing Amy's videos nowadays?
Because Amy has a lot of work, and now we have an expert team in all of areas of Odoo, and as business analyst and expert, it's our job to share our knowledge. So it was really just simple as that.
I heard you got a job in a rock band.
Sorry?
I heard you got a job singing in a band.
I hope so. Maybe I will rapping next year, but let's see that. Good? Any other question?
I have another question.
Tell me.
Is it mandatory to take the certification right after the PLO, or can we wait for a few?
Honestly, I will always advise to not pass the certification right after the onboarding. So yes, we will see and cover a lot of application, but the certification is quite advanced. And when I do a PLO with a partner, I always advise him to wait to have 2 or 3 projects on the pipe, to have 3 or 4 months of experience before doing the certification, because the certification is not easy.
So what is the condition for smart classes for ready partners, for example?
We are actually still discussing about that, but if I'm not mistaken, is to have a success pack at Odoo and to have some basic knowledge. We don't want to have some partners that didn't follow the PLO and never did a project before doing a smart class. It will be really too advanced, and either for the partners and for us, it will be not good.
Your recommendation to go smart classes after PLO?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Is Odoo Belgium responsible for this course, or?
Yep, we launch it in Belgium, but now Dubai do it, Mexico more recently, and also Hong Kong. Big up, Will. So yeah, we try to expand it everywhere. And I guess it will be the same for the smart classes. They will be launched right now, and we will try to expand them everywhere, worldwide. Any other question? All good? Yeah.
For partners, let's say course in German, course in French. Yeah, in French.
That's a question that we often have. At the moment, no, because it's a huge work to do. But I know that the Mexico office will translate the PLO in Spanish. So at some point, it will be the case, but maybe not in a close future. Yep. Là-bas.
You have mentioned that ready partners only need one certification, only to attend one-time certification. Could you please explain it a little bit more?
Mm-hmm. Is there any account manager in the room? You are? I know, I don't remember well because it's not really my job to check if the partner has a certification or not, but I know that learning partner doesn't need any certification. And to be official and to be ready, I think just only one certification is enough, but I can come back to that later if you want to be sure. It's like the same for silver and gold. they need a certain amount of certification to get the status, and of course a total of user also. So I will have the answer to that right later. Okay, thank you everyone for your attention, and see you soon.